go. Welcome to the show. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with me. Cause it's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. Let's get the topic straight. Let's get things good. Let's do everything that we should. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. Let's open our minds and take out our style. Let's see what's going on in the world tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right.
Alrighty then, what's going on, guys? This is your boy. Thank you for Project Open Mic. Hope you guys are doing well. Man, it has been an interesting week. First of all, I wanna thank everybody out there. I'll put it on my screen. First of all, I want to thank everybody out there for all the well wishes and happy that you guys have said, hey, I'm happy that you have made 100 episodes of Project Open Mic. Thank you. And again, for the little people who do help out with that, thank you very much. Also, for those who watch again on YouTube, a few people on YouTube, like I said, that's most of the stuff is cataloged back into. I'm gonna try to spread it to more stuff, of course. But it's Channel Chases Daily. You go there, daily videos I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in the morning when I'm going to work, talking about issues, of course. So we keep on talking about that. Again, you go to Project Open Mic on YouTube, subscribe, of course, ring the notification bell so you get videos. Again, leave the conversation piece. You want to go, put comments, and we could talk about stuff. But I want to thank everybody for giving me their time, their mind, their eyes, their heart, their ears, from all the platforms that are playing this, which is YouTube, Facebook, Tempo FM, Twitch TV, Live Now, You Live, Nico, Locals, Spotify, Anchor. I mean, if you in most places, if the video have a description down in the bottom, in the link, you will see links for all places if you want to. So if you don't want to see video, you want to listen to something while you working out and doing something, and you're gonna use the bandwidth of your video, you go to Spotify, you go to Stitcher to listen to, or Anchor to listen to the podcast. Can't get no easier, no better than that. So tonight I'm gonna try to run through some of this stuff quick. I did again start a little late, but I do want to go through this quick and talk about what's going on. It's been a crazy week, of course, and we all know that. And my wife is the one who came with the title of this show. We live in a trumped up world. And of course, I think it's aptly titled. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. Of course, talk about the biggest story that's out there, of course, which is, of course, President Trump got indicted for campaign finances. And let me make it easy for y'all. I mean, long story short, he the finances is because of they say he used campaign money to pay off Stormy Daniels, who he had an affair with, and he should not do that. Shout out to Bill Clinton. But anyway, go to the situation where they That was the thing, but that he did that before he became president, and also he did not did the money. The lawyer did paid it, not him. There's no connection of that. They tried it back then, and it failed, and it failed on a federal level. So they tried it on a local level because it's Alton Brown, the nickname people call him Fat Albert, is trying to charge him with this with I think it's I don't know how much counts this, but he would get about 136 years. It's crazy. But here's my stance though, because I'm a libertarian. I don't care, Republican or Democrat. If you want to put the man in jail for something that's misdemeanor at the most, and again, he didn't do no finance charge anyway. But if you want to do that for that, again, how about we list a lot of presidents who did horrible stuff in the last couple of years? We could put President Bush in jail because he done some stuff that was not cool. We could put John Kerry in jail. We could put Hillary Clinton in jail. We could put well, we can't put John McCain because he's not around. But if he was alive, put that bastard in jail for the stupid stuff he proposed and done. You could put Mitt Romney in jail. You could put a lot of people in jail for more substantial evidence of doing horrible stuff, including Biden, where he literally said it on the thing and his son for doing the deals they did with China. That's immoral, unethical, and everything. But nobody want to talk about those. I say if you put Trump in jail, put all of them in jail. I listed off Democrats and Republicans. Put every one of those people in jail because all of them did corruptible stuff, and they should be in jail, in my opinion. Because Chuck Schumer, that's Pelosi. Oh my goodness! Like I could list off a lot of people who should be in jail for more horrible things that they have done. But let's just get down to the news and see what's talking about with, like I said, with the situation. So, again, I'm gonna give you also. Can we really live in a Sodom and Gomorrah world where now some of the inabilities, some of the I would say human, just carnal nature of human and evil and sin is becoming rules of law. Look at Canada. You can't protest. You can't protest against having children around grown men who are sexualizing them. I don't get that. That's weird, Canada, but whatever. And again, before I go that, let me just extend this out too and say it. Like, it's a serious worm. This is what's going on. It's a serious snake that's going into society right now, and they're just trying to destroy things. Again, LGB. You're gay or you're lesbian. You're homosexual. The word is. I have no problem with homosexuals. I got friends who are homosexual. I have no problem with homosexual. They wanted to get the right to be married. Yeah. You see, the evil people use that to slither their way because again, they could have got civil union. No, they wanted the word marriage because civil union at the time had every civil thing, but they didn't want to call it marriage because you know what? Once the Marxists, once the leftist lunatics figure out that they could change the definition of words, you've been seeing it. They've been changing the definition of a lot of words. They could have civil union, and I was cool with that as a libertarian. I was like, hey, you go ahead. You want? I'm not gonna stop you from it if you want to. You love that guy, and that's your guy. The two of y'all love each other, or women, and you love each other. I have no problem. Do your thing, love your life, make it good. But then they had the whole bisexual. You're just a selfish person. I don't care what anybody say. You're bisexual. You're just a selfish person, and you pick a team. Just pick a team and be happy, but you're selfish. Trans. Again, you're 18 years old. You want to be whatever you want to be. I have no problem with that. I do draw a problem when you try to mess with kids and mess with the hormones and make kids do stuff that they don't know about. They can't vote. They can't drink. They can't do a lot of stuff under 18, but they could change their whole body and physics to get physics and everything. I don't like that. That's stupid. After the 18, you do what you want to do on your dime and your money. Not my money, not taxpayers' money. We should not be paying for this crap. We have more than enough money that we taking every year. I've showed the deficit clock, the debit clock on multiple shows in the past. We have enough money we take in a year that everybody could live comfortable. But no, we waste the money, and the politicians wasted all of them. President Trump is no different either. He wastes some money as well too. They waste it, but nobody wants to call out the bull crap. We take more than enough money and we spend on garbage, straight up garbage. Okay, make no sense. We're spending disability on lazy people. I don't like that. Yesterday I was at Target. I was at the self-checkout section, and you have a person there to make sure everything went there. You know who was working there? A lady that had no legs. A lady that had no legs was working and moving around faster than a young person I've seen there a couple of times. Now here's the thing: she's working there because she working because she want to work, and I think maybe she just want to keep her mind active or whatever. And God bless her, and I wish her the best. She's maybe gained disability. Here's the thing: I have no problem with my taxpayer money go to a woman who wanted there. But the thing about her that makes me even more happy is because she wants to work. I've seen a guy at Chick-fil-A who had one arm. He was taking orders with one arm and still going around wiping off the countertops and stuff like that. These are people. I have no problem paying that. Okay, if you have something that made you obesely big, thyroids and all this stuff, and it's hard to work on all this stuff like that, I get it. I understand you're morbidly obese, to that, whatever. But if you ate your way to that spot, that ain't happening to me. Okay, that's something I'm not gonna be standing for. Okay, you eat your way to that spot.
No, son of a bitch!
I don't care for that. Just saying, pass for that. We have enough money to take care of all of the mentally ill, disabled people in this country, but we squander it on garbage and put it in the pockets of all politicians, left and right, Republicans and Democrats. As I said before, there's nothing more I hate in a Republican than a Democrat. Because, so we got that situation. Just letting you stay up there. This is a Sodom Gomorrah situation, and this is what I want to prove to you tonight with that. So those are the two main topics. All right, so let's just jump into it.
And now that Fat Alvin, the district attorney, Alvin Bragg, has unsealed the indictment and released and published the details of what exactly the trumped-up charges are, no pun intended, here is CNN actually admitting the truth.
Your reaction now that you've had a chance to go through it, is it what you thought it was going to be, and are you unimpressed?
It is what I thought it was going to be in terms of
a bunch of trumped-up charges.
Focusing on the payments that were made, the falsification of the records, and really tied to the payment that was made to Stormy Daniels.
Sloppy.
In terms of a case that's being brought against a former president, it's a little underwhelming. There's not more to it. There's not more violations, tax violations. There's not an incredible new set of facts that we didn't know about publicly. It's really the facts of this case as they have existed for basically almost 7 years.
That's just some random, no-name legal analyst you say who's never going to appear on the network again for not pretending that this is some big bombshell, right? Well, here is the former deputy director, second in command of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, who sold his soul to CNN. He, too, surprisingly, can't even pretend that this is some big deal and that these are actually serious charges.
If I had to characterize it, it's disappointment. I think everyone was hoping we would see more about the direction that they intend to take this prosecution. What is the legal theory that ties that very solid misdemeanor case, 34 counts of misdemeanors, to the intent to conceal another crime, which is what makes it a felony. It simply isn't there. Now, it's possible that the
members of the jury are going to be a bunch of morons and convict no matter what?
It's possible that the DA has an elaborate and solid theory that's back.
Conspiracy theory.
backed up by a lot of evidence, and he has just decided to conceal that at this point. That would be
I doubt that.
Yes, he's hiding the real evidence and the real reason. Well, I guess he is hiding the real reason, but he's hiding the real evidence that he has just to wait for his Perry Mason moment in trial.
At the end of the day, if all of our legal friends read this indictment and don't see a way to a felony, it's hard to imagine convincing a jury that they should get there.
Neocon and friend of the globalists, John Bolton, said this.
Well, speaking as someone who very strongly does not want Donald Trump to get the Republican presidential nomination, I'm extraordinarily distressed by this document. I think this is even weaker than I feared it would be.
And can you believe that? The same guy who wrote a book, who, funny enough, some person, because they said, oh, what John Bolton wrote in the book, we should. I'm like, and I just said I didn't read the book. But if I was in front of that person again, I would have said I should have never backed down. I should have said what it is. I think John Bolton's a piece of crap, and he was a piece of crap. Yeah, still is that. But he's true right here, but he was a piece of crap.
I think it's easily subject to being dismissed or a quick acquittal for Trump.
Even Mitt Romney, whose real name is Willard, by the way, whose policies didn't really vary much from Barack Obama's when he was the fake opposition against him back in 2012 for the presidency, issued a statement saying, quote, I believe President Trump's character and conduct make him unfit for office, even though I believe the New York prosecutor has stretched to reach felony criminal charges in order to fit a political agenda.
Really? You can't believe that? Okay, Mitt, whatever. Yeah. You're right, Mitt, but again, we don't believe you because you're full of crap, sir. You really are.
But here's the moment that the entire fake news industrial complex and the Marxist Democrats have been waiting for 7 years.
Donald Trump, former president of the United States, frontrunner for the Republican nomination for president of the United States, is now under arrest. We've never seen it before. It is a sobering moment.
It's a sad moment. Who would have thought that the communists would have actually conquered the United States?
Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer is an official offer to buy your car. Just enter your vehicle ID information, answer a couple questions, then receive a no obligation.
Here's another clip from inside the courthouse, and as sad as it is to see, everybody should see this so that the gravity of this situation begins to sink in.
We don't know how much the former president. Let's watch. Let's just watch.
President Trump, will you come speak to us? President Trump?
And the media can't help but just being clowns. Will you come and speak to us? There was no mugshot taken because they were concerned that it was going to be leaked and that it would be so iconic and it would rally the base and it would perfectly illustrate the tyranny that has now engulfed America. But this photo was taken of the president outside the courthouse, showing that he really hasn't even aged at all in the last 7 years. A defiant gesture against the deep state, against the communists who are now pounding the final nails into the coffin of this once great country. After his arrest, his arraignment, his court appearance, he returned to Mar-a-Lago and then issued a rather lengthy statement about the kangaroo court and the political persecution that was surprisingly aired on CNN, at least most of it. But over on MSNBC, this is what their viewers were.
Could happen in America. Never thought it could happen. The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it.
Things have gotten so strange in this now joke of a country that this AA basketball tournament wrapped up, and it's customary for the winner to get an invitation to the White House.
Oh, I don't want to use that one because I want to get to the. I want to save that for a little thing. Okay, so but we know about that, and also I gotta give it to the women's again. Y'all did 99 million views. Great job beating the record. That's good. And women college basketball has that flavor. Now I don't know why the WNBA don't get it, because a lot of women just don't go watch the NBA, and men men again, it's funny. They're like, oh, men is this and this, but the biggest watchers of WNBA is men. So I don't get it either. But whatever. But I want to get into that. So Alvin Brown said, Bragg Brown, whatever his name is, said that he put the charges on the former President Trump. But I got a question though, Alvin. And when you got elected, I talked about this because this happened. What about, so we're gonna do, because the president paid money, used money, as you said, to give to his lawyer before he became a candidate to pay the porn star so she don't out anything and got anything negative to say. Stormy Daniels. That's a horrible thing, and the man should get 130 years for that. Okay. But you let regular folks get hurt. I've shown a video of a black older man getting beat down by a young black man on camera. What happened? He walked. An Asian woman got beat down outside by a black man. He walked. Let me get a sample of that, lady. That's the same man who's doing this to President Trump is the same person who, like I said, who's, again, let's hear what lady said here.
Picked up a new slogan.
Mr. Alvin Bragg.
No one is above the law. If no one is above the law, then I don't understand how Alvin Bragg could dismiss murder and gang assault indictments against two of the people involved in the murder of my son. Because it seems to me that murderers are above the law in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this, no one is above the law, nonsense is just that. It's nonsense. We see it every single day in the black and brown communities, every day, all day.
Okay.
Everyone is above the law. They're not even making it to the DA's office. The cases are not even being prosecuted, period. We see crime rising out of control every single day. And Alvin Bragg is doing absolutely zero.
Exactly. So we go after the president, but in your local neighborhood, people who have done horrible stuff to you walking. And I've said, I did a video about Alvin Brown before. Alvin Bragg. He's a jerk. He is just a political hack. That's what it is. And that's messed up. Her son got killed by 3 men. And 2 of them walked. While the other one stayed. That's messed up. Again, the old lady who got beaten up by the black man, old Chinese lady who got beaten up by the black man. And then I laugh because you got Democrats coming up saying about, we got to stop the Asian hate. Well, yes, we have to stop the Asian hate. But I got a question. How about we lock up the people who caused the problem? It's a self-reciprocal cycle up in these liberal cities. That is like weird as hell. And as weird as this, let's talk about this one. Another liberal city. Rest in peace to this man, because this is sad what happened. He tried to leave the city before this happened, and this happened. He tried to protect his family. And these are the DAs, these are the leftist DAs who are literally letting these crimes happen.
Of Cash App, a 43-year-old man by the name of Bob Lee being deleted out there in San Francisco in a very nice area at about 2:30 a.m. Now, there's a lot to this story, but I think the main thing here before we get to the video, and if you want to see that video info, I'll link to it in the description, IG link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But the main thing that we need to address here is how crime is no longer isolated in quote unquote bad neighborhoods in these liberal cities like San Francisco, New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. Crime is sweeping all over the place. You cannot escape it. You can be in a very well-to-do neighborhood, multi-million-dollar homes or in the ghetto, crime can affect you regardless. And before I go any further, let's roll the full clip. Again, y'all know where to find it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Tonight, friends and family are confirming what many fear. The 43-year-old man San Francisco police found stabbed here on Main Street early Tuesday morning is well-known tech executive Bob Lee. The father of two was chief product officer at cryptocurrency startup MobileCoin. Before that, he worked with former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey at Square. Dorsey today called his death heartbreaking. Lee would later create the mobile payment service Cash App.
Bob's someone that I just talked to a couple days before and was planning on meeting him tomorrow in Miami. So it was really hit close to home, especially he got stabbed in front of my old apartment complex. So
Jake Shields is Lee's friend.
I'm a professional fighter and I lived right there and I started feeling unsafe.
Current Twitter CEO Elon Musk responded to news of the killing by taking a swipe at the city.
Anything a swipe? He told the truth. The hell you talking about? They're lying, kids. They're lying.
Let's read this because I feel like they're not going to read it on the air.
No, they ain't.
Very sorry to hear that. Many people I know have been severely assaulted. Violent crime in San Francisco is horrific, and even if attackers are caught, they are often released immediately. Is the city taking stronger action to incarcerate repeat violent offenders? At Brooke Jenkins, San Francisco.
Yeah, see what I'm see. Even Elon knows it. Attackers get caught and they often release immediately. The same thing with Alvin Bragg. That's the problem. Are you kidding me with some of this stuff?
Good question.
Violent crime in SF, he said, is horrific. San Francisco's district attorney also called the crime horrific. Now, Lee had just moved his family from San Francisco to Miami to be with his father. Friends say he was back in town visiting when he was attacked.
Okay, so that's the clip right there. There's a lot more to this story. You know, they didn't really say everything. They didn't even read the full tweet from Elon Musk. There's an article right here. And as you can see, the headline here says, bystander ignored dying Cash App founder Bob Lee as he begged for help. So he was stabbed out there 2:30 in the morning. I don't know where he was going, where he was coming from, probably a restaurant, bar or something like that, hanging out with friends. That's right around the time you would get out and then go back home. He's in a very nice neighborhood. And then somebody, they don't know who it is. If they do know, they're not saying anything about the suspect.
Of course.
But somebody ran up on him, stabbed him. And then he was begging for help from people in the car, and they drove off. Let's read some of this article, and we're going to see why he left for Miami and also what happened when he was attacked. So there's a video of this. I don't know where it is. If I can find it, I'll link to it in the box. I'll link to this article in the box, too. But tragic video shows dying Cash App founder Bob Lee was ignored by bystanders as he begged for help after being stabbed in San Francisco early Tuesday. Before succumbing to his injuries, the 43-year-old chief product officer of MobileCoin walked up to a parked car that had its hazard flashes on to try and get help, according to surveillance footage obtained by the San Fran Standard. And this probably will link to it. I know I can't play it right here, showing the man dying. If you want to see it, link will be in the box. Footage showed Lee lifted up his shirt to show the driver his 2 stab wounds, but collapsed to the ground as the car drove off. Now, some are going to say, well, hey, man, that's cruel. You see a guy that has been severely injured. You should come to their aid. I mean, I understand that. I understand that people want to help. I'm not saying I wouldn't help, but if you're living in San Francisco, you might see a lot of things similar to that all the time. Yeah. And then you're afraid to get involved because of all the crime and the violence going on.
That is true.
You're afraid to even get involved. It could be a setup. This person could get in the car and hurt you.
Yep.
A lot of drug addicts out there. It's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a complete mess. And I blame the state of the city for them not wanting to help this man in his final minutes or hours on earth. Footage showed Lee lifted up his shirt. So that's what it says. Lee called 911 at 2:34 a.m., pleaded for help. Yelling to dispatchers that he had been stabbed and needed to go to the hospital. Police arrived less than 6 minutes later and found Lee unconscious with 2 stab wounds to the chest. And that's him right there.
And that's what it said. Police will always be behind stuff. That's why when people talk about, oh yeah, call the cops, call the cops. 6 minutes later, cops, I'm sorry. You have threatened me and my family. We taking care of this now and then and then and now. Just saying. Just saying. This is ridiculous. This is craziness that's going on here.
43 years old. May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
And that's them cleaning off the scene. Again, you guys may know about San Francisco, but this is the particular area. It may look familiar to you. I don't really know too much about it. So they said this is the Rincon Hill neighborhood. He was rushed to San Francisco General Hospital where he died. Police had not announced any arrests or named any suspects in the stabbing as of Thursday morning. The brutal stabbing in the city's downtown Rincon neighborhood, a well-to-do area in former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's district. Of course. What is she going to do about it? Not a thing.
Nothing.
Keep getting elected until she's 1,000 years old and can't serve anymore, right? But there was a trail of blood along the sidewalk outside the building where Lee collapsed. So according to the Standard, police have not said whether the stabbing was random attack or targeted attack. Could have been a targeted attack. Could have been some kind of corporate hit. Could have been some random crackhead on the street. Who knows? It's San Francisco. It could be anything going on.
Yep.
All right. So let's see here. He had kids. Really unfortunate. Now, here's something that is really important. See this little subhead right here? Lee had moved back to Miami because he felt San Francisco was deteriorating.
Yep.
Okay, so he fled California. He left San Francisco because of stuff like this going on. And he goes back to hang out with friends, family, or whatever. And then you see what happens to him. He loses his life. He loses his life. He should have just stayed in Miami, not come back to California for any reason whatsoever. Let's continue. During a police commission meeting Wednesday, San Fran Police Chief Bill Scott said he had nothing to share yet. We don't want to be premature, et cetera, et cetera. Lee, who was a father of two and a longtime Bay Area resident, had recently moved back to Miami because San Fran was deteriorating. Shields revealed Lee was attacked while he was walking. So this is the area right here. Probably just walking down the street and he gets attacked. So looks like his wife and his kids. Really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Really, really unfortunate.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. And that's the situation though. These are the neighborhoods. Y'all think that y'all a lot of these rich people, and I'm not knocking him for that, but a lot of the rich people, because remember that video I played? I remember when we had the riots happening in California, when the guy was like, "Yes, burn it down, This is injustice for black people, blah blah blah." Remember that video I showed and I played that? And then when the riots came to his uppity neighborhood, "Oh, these guys are horrible people. Why did they get these animals away from me?" Wait, sir, I thought these were nice young black folks that you said, and injustice and all that stuff. But now they're coming to your neighborhood, tearing down your fence. They're animals. Right. Okay. I understand how this works. Yep. You gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful out there. We're gonna talk about more of this. It's messed up. These DAs are messed. You gotta be careful what these DAs is. I mean, sorry. Protect yourself, protect your family, like I always say, and watch what's going around you. Be observative. It's back in the good old days, you can't just not look eyes down, because including San Francisco, we have crackheads and all that stuff, including that one video I saw that time when that guy got pushed down in front of a truck because this crackhead was, and he threw urine on a woman and all this other stuff. Like, you got it, nah. Nighttime is not the place to be in liberal cities. Just telling you. Because if they're letting criminals go because of restorative justice, whatever the hell that is. Restorative justice.
What the fuck?
Restorative justice? Yeah. They don't care. All they care about is basically the money.
Taxes! Beautiful, lovely taxes!
Thanks for taking my money, asshole.
And yes, that specific clip is for shout out to my wife. I'll play it again for you, my dear, but this is for you. Anyway, let's like I said, let's keep it moving. So I want to talk about this is why it says Sodom Gomorrah. All right, I'm gonna play this. I'm not gonna play full through the audio and everything. I'm just because it's disturbing and disgusting in my opinion. I don't care. Because let me get this straight. I do not want to show kids porn. I don't want to take a kids to a strip club. But for some weird reasons, and I do mean weird, we can let a little boy go and strip dance in front of grown men. Literally, that is a...
What the fuck?
That makes sense. But we can't... Let's not let little girls and stuff, which I'm against both ways. We should not be sexualizing our kids at any daggone young age at all. They should be reading, writing, doing their school. Take that crap out of their schools. I don't give a crap about that. But y'all literally are grooming. That's why I have a problem. Yeah. You know what? Yes. I don't want y'all to have y'all story time with whatever. Hey, guys, why don't you guys take that story time and just, I don't know, do it for other people, do it for older people, do it for people 18 older. The thing about it is, why y'all doing it for little kids? That is again Sodom Gomorrah. That's the sickness in that. That is the sickness in that. But like I said, check this out. This is the way it is. These are 10, 12-year-old kids. And like I said, I'm not playing the audio for 10 or 12-year-old kids. And look, our guest today is transgender. These are men and women who took their clothes off in front of little 10 and 11-year-old kids. Why is this on new national TV? Why? And this is up in northern country in Europe. Y'all people are flipping crazy. All right? I feel for the kids.
Oh, what a waste. The poor children.
Exactly. This is sickening that y'all are doing this. This is a Sodom Gomorrah. Sorry, this is what it is. They force this stuff to people. Why are you doing this? Not cool at all. Again, my thing is this. What about you people? I don't get it. It's just like me today. I want to state this out clearly and authentically so people can understand. Again, I'm gonna tell you, I don't care who you have sex with unless it's consented and it's over 18 years old. Okay, boy or girl, because there are women out there who also mess around and rape boys. I showed a video the week before, when this woman who's 32, a teacher, basically had a kid because she mentally messed up a boy who's 13, and she gets no time, no jail time at all for doing what she did. Guy do that, which eventually they want to give the death penalty, and I understand why. But that's kind of messed up, in my opinion. I'm sorry. That is straight up bull crap. Okay? I don't like that at all. At all. It's craziness. It should not be that kind of situation. But people are trying to say, oh, well, let's go on with this. Let's do that. That is not cool. I say it again, not cool at all. Okay? You want to love a man, a man, go right ahead. That's not me for choose. I am, like I said, you want to do that, go ahead and do that. A woman want to do a woman, go ahead and want to choose. I already understand. They did this stuff to sneak in the deception, the devious stuff. It was an open gate drug when they did the whole, let's have gay homosexual marriage and all that stuff. All right, again, you had civil unions. I had a problem with that. And I love, if you go back, I did a story earlier, way earlier in the channel, before we had numbers episodes, where the woman who was the case, the woman who was the case for the judge for the Supreme Court, whatever, the lady who wanted to marry somebody. Do you know that woman never married that other woman? She never married that other woman, and she had a will. Well, in her will, she said, "Don't give this woman no money." When she died, she just wanted a fun toy. Now you see how he feels. But this situation is not cool. You force this stuff on these kids. I don't like that. I want you to teach the kids stuff. That's why the kids are getting dumber and dumber. And I said this before. They're purposely doing this. This is not. Oh, we're making things better. No, they want a Sodom and Gomorrah. They want this. They want your kids to be dumb so they could easily be tricked. They want your kids so you could be a useful idiot. So you could like the woman who I could have played the video. I'm gonna play tonight. It's with the lady the little girl who threw food on the Van Gogh, the pasta on the Van Gogh. And if you hear arguments, it's so stupid. It's like, you're 22 years old. Do you have a brain, my dear, or do you just regurgitate garbage? You don't have a brain. That's what they want. They want you all in debt, in servitude, while they are up on a high. Like I said, they want you to not drive cars while they fly their cars and fly their cars and fly their planes anywhere in the world they want. They want you to not eat meat while they eat crickets and bugs while you while they're at home eating their foie gras, sipping their wine. All the plebeians, the lower class people, they don't know how. Whatever. And these are the extra wealthy people who are the ones who y'all think is your friends. Y'all say, "Oh, F the rich" and all this stuff. But again, look at all of the politicians. Majority of them are rich. And again, they got rich because they screwed you out of y'all money and tax and stuff. I can tell you right now, my wife don't like a lot of stuff because she had to pay a lot of taxes this year. And trust me, she ain't happy with that at all. Excuse me. She had to pay taxes last year, but she has to. But I think I gotta ask her if this is the most money she had ever paid this year for taxes. It's some bull crap. They don't. Yeah. They don't care about them. People don't understand that. They don't. So let's go on to and then of course when people start to figure out stuff and think of stuff, they try to give you a little something in front of your eyes so you don't they block your eyes and trick and keep your mind puzzled and on something else. On a shiny coin over here while they do the tricks behind it, like let's take their money, let's steal their money, let's make your bank account slower, make all these laws that don't make no sense that would affect them but not us. And I'll give a great example of the craziness. I'll say this again. I have no problem with the guy I'm going to use right now. It probably means that he's a human being. You want to do this? That's your problem. You do it. I don't have no problem with that. I just do not like the crap that you're saying because it don't make no sense because you would never, and I do mean this, you will never, ever be a woman. That is crazy. A lot of women always fight, oh, woman's right. All these, you call it feminists and everything. Oh, this, woman power, whatever. But y'all fighting and you're giving men more power because you're letting men win women. How, what sense does that make? Here's an example of this nonsense. Let's go to the video. Because this don't make not a lick of sense. Not a lick of sense this make.
Was this Bud Light can featuring a special edition of the TikTok transgender star Dylan Mulvaney, and I thought that's hilarious. A lot of people are going to fall for that because things are almost that crazy, but it turns out that they are that crazy because this wasn't an April Fool's Day joke, it's real. Bud Light partners with trans activist Dylan Mulvaney for March Madness. This isn't a parody. Unless Dylan is the one who pulled this April Fool's Day joke, but I'll show you why the evidence indicates that it most likely is real. And the fact that it could be real and it could be a parody, and it's really hard to tell the difference, shows how far gone our society is. He posted this video on his Instagram account saying that Bud Light sent him the special commemorative can to mark the 1-year anniversary of Dylan dressing up as a woman.
And Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya!
Oh, no.
Motherfucker. That don't even make no goddamn sense.
This man doesn't drink beer. He's been only popular for a year. And this is the advertisement. It's just like what they did the whole Gillette. And I'll do a video about that too. Hey Gillette, I have never used your product ever from since that day as well too, because the best a man could be is to be a whiny, powerful. No, I've never used that product. I've not used it, so good. And this is crazy. You send that to somebody who don't drink it. How far gone are you damn companies? But you know what? That's the thing. I have no problem with it. Why? Because if a company want to do something that's stupid, I'm a libertarian. Let them do it. And then when they lose money, I don't give a dang. But it's so stupid.
Go team! Whatever team you love, I love too.
What the hell is that?
Okay.
The Babylon Bee summed it up perfectly, saying, beverage pretending to be beer features man pretending to be woman.
Funny.
Last year in Canada, a country that is surprisingly even more Marxist and far left than the United States, issued some commemorative pride cans featuring rainbows and different pronouns, saying, celebrate everyone's identity. Bud Light believes that everything is more fun when everyone brings their own unique energy, said Mike D'Agnastani, Senior Marketing Director of Bud Light Canada, who obviously knows nothing about marketing because he is turning off 99% of their customers to try to appease 1%. Who would drink gay beer? It's our brand's mission to leave no one out and celebrate individuals being their most authentic selves. That's strange because I can't be my authentic self, because if I actually said what I really think about these people and what's happening to our country, I would be banned from the entire internet.
Exactly. And I'll say this too here. Like I said, it was lesbian and gay. Homosexuals, one word, that was it. Then became bisexual. Like I said before, you are greedy people. Then became trans. If you're 18 and above, I don't care as long as you're not hurting anybody or doing anything crazy. And again, no. Queer is always the same thing. Queer don't make no sense to me because it just sounds so. I don't know what the hell it is. Asexual people don't really care about this because you never heard really asexual people say anything. Two spirits, what the hell that problem is. Basically, is another word of being bisexual. S, I don't know what it is. And plus, it's all crap. And again, it's only 5% of the population. So what the hell? How do I get that much power?
Bud Light Camp, we are championing LGBTQIA2S plus community members and allies to live their truth, leaving only one question. What camp are you in? Well, you know, it is weird that the A literally stands for asexual people who aren't interested in sex or have extremely low sex drive, really have no desire to engage in any kind of sexual activity whatsoever. And I don't know why they would want anything to do with a community that just won't stop talking about the kind of sex that they want. And that is their entire identity. Just 10 years ago, if any marketing director would have recommended that any company do this, let alone a beer company, they would have been laughed out of the boardroom and fired immediately. It would have been a funny April Fool's Day joke, but now this is reality. In a sane society like the United States was back in the 1990s, people like Dylan Mulvaney would have been contained on the Jerry Springer Show. But now He has 10 million followers on the Communist Chinese Psychological Warfare Operation.
Well, yeah, they want to, and again, TikTok promotes this stuff so people could see it because China wants it to like, China's like, hey, go ahead and do this. Why? Because if you do that, your country could crumble and we'll come over and take it. They don't care about this stuff. That's why China's promoting the thing.
Operation TikTok. Before TikTok and before Dylan Mulvaney, YouTube minted various kinds of these same celebrities, like Jeffree Star, who has almost 16 million subscribers. So these aren't people that just see one of his videos and just laugh at him and mock him and roll their eyes and shake their head. These are people who want to see more content like this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are ya? As you can see by the title, the next massive Jeffree Star Cosmetics collection is called Psychedelic Circus.
Oh, yeah. He sells his own makeup.
And that's another thing that came in. So, yeah, so women, you're going to go and buy cosmetic. And women do this, which is so stupid. But y'all going to buy cosmetic from a man.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
Exactly. But let's go. I want to play this though. Kid Rock has something to say. Kid Rock, I'll let Kid Rock do his thing. Kid, do your thing.
Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today. Let me say something to all you and be as clear and concise as possible. Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
Hey, you can't get no straighter than that. You can't get no straighter than that. Alrighty then, let's change the pace a little bit. All right, I don't want to be all doom and gloom and say stuff, whatever. I always try to do stuff, but again, there's a backlash I gotta talk about too because it's crazy. First of all, I want to thank, and this is Black Exceptionists. I want to thank these the Black family. I forgot the name of their names, but it will come up when the name come up. But the cousins who won, they won not only the men's championship, they won the female championship in NCAA. Oh man, awesome! I'm happy you guys did that, and I wish you nothing but best. But let's talk about the controversy. This is the one where I'm talking about. You have a shiny coin to keep your eye off of crap. Okay, this is what that is. So let's talk about this debauchery as well too. And again, this was nothing. That little girl, did I say did a girl walked around and beat the girl's face a little bit more? Yeah, but still, she just won. She just beat you, and the same girl did the exact same thing to other people. So it's a nothing burger. But they blow up things so they could make you keep your eyes on stuff. And shout out to LSU.
When you normally think of LSU basketball, Shaquille O'Neal and Chris Jackson, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf will come to mind. Maybe even Ben Simmons, who also came from the LSU men's basketball program. But now there's been a moment that will go down in history that highlights another group of ball players.
Yeah.
That will be the LSU championship women's basketball team. I want to start off by congratulating those ladies. Sunday, April 2nd, 2023, the LSU women's basketball team won the 2023 NCAA National Championship over Iowa 102-85. They made history, giving LSU its first women's basketball national championship, as well as the 50th team national title across all LSU athletics. Everybody was excited about this game, and you know rapper Boosie is from Baton Rouge, so it was a different level of excitement for him watching it from his Georgia home.
Larry Bird, come get your daughter. Larry Bird, come get your daughter. Larry Bird, come get your damn daughter.
Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Click the notification bell for all updates. If you're watching from Baton Rouge or anywhere in Louisiana, let me know below in the comments. This is Coach Moki's second year at LSU. She was able to put this team together. She had many recruits from other programs that transferred to LSU. The whole team was phenomenal. Alexis Morris in her defense was crucial. Jasmine Carson in her shooting. But the most talked about incident involved the MOP, Angel Reese. When Angel Reese made the hand gesture like the wrestler John Cena towards Iowa star player Caitlin Clark, Iowa's fans went in calling Angel classless. They just went way overboard, and of course she was trending. Totally ignoring that Caitlin, she's been doing the same thing to the other players in the tournament. Caitlin, who also broke a lot of records during these matchups, she had the same competitive energy. Some said she taunted other players. Others believe it's all just small trash talk. But for whatever reason, it was Caitlin's fans who turned into little snowflakes.
Yep. Ain't that the truth?
Caitlin, however, did not agree with the backlash against Angel. Caitlin said that Angel did not deserve the criticism because, one, this is sports, it's a competition, and Caitlin knew as a competitor, this is something that she would do too.
You know, I think the biggest thing is, you know, we're all competitive. We all show our emotions in a different way. You know, Angel's tremendous player. I have nothing but respect for her. I love her game. The way she rebounds the ball, scores the ball is absolutely incredible. You know, I'm a big fan of her, and even the entire LSU team. You know, like I said, they played an amazing game. So, you know, I don't think there should be any criticism for what she did. You know, I honestly didn't see it when the game was going on. And like I said, I haven't been on social media really at all. I'm just trying to reflect back on, you know, what this team did and enjoy every single second with my teammates because, you know, we have two really good seniors that are moving on from our team that have given a lot. And, you know, they've been some of my best friends, you know, while I've been here at the University of Iowa. So I'm just lucky enough that, you know, I got to play on that stage and have that opportunity with them. And I believe I get to play for one of the best coaches of all time, and Coach Bluter, and she believes in me more than anybody ever has. So, you know, I'm just more than anything lucky.
As we've been saying, a lot of people have been talking about it, but, you know, one of the things people talk about is race as a component of this. Your thoughts?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you know, I don't think Angel should be criticized at all.
Exactly.
You know, no matter which way it goes, you know, she should never be criticized for what she did. You know, I'm just one that competes, and she competed. So I think everybody knew there was going to be a little trash talk in the entire tournament. It's not just me and Angel. So, you know, I don't think she should be criticized, like I said. LSU deserves it. They played so well. And like I said, I'm a big fan of hers.
Biden is probably clueless about what's going on. You know, he's always trying to find his way these days, but his wife somehow found a way to put herself in the middle of all of this.
So I know we'll have the champions come to the White House. We always do. So, you know, we'll have LSU come. But you know what? I'm going to tell Joe, I think Iowa should come too. Because they played such a good game. So, right? So winners and losers, that's sportsmanship. That's good sport.
No, it's good sportsmanship, but that's not what it is. You want to know why this country also getting weaker and weaker as well, too, with the whole, oh, you should get a participation trophy because you participated. You lose. You lose. Bye. Work hard. Try hard. Take that lose. Turn it into motivation and work your butt next year to kick some more booty. That's what that is. Not this BS.
Sportsmanship.
Nah, Jill, that's disrespectful.
Thank you.
The ladies of LSU, they are not happy with the First Lady trying to invite both teams. And Angel Reese had no problem saying that she was not interested in going to the White House.
I mean, as soon as that happened, we hit the group chat like, what we doing? Y'all trying to go? Like what? Because if y'all don't, we not going. And my coach, she's telling us, just be patient, she got this. And that's why she came out with that statement this morning. We made a lot of phone calls, and that's why she wants to come out and apologize. But at the same time,
the damage is
I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't accept the apology because of You said what you
Jill
said.
Biden.
Yeah.
First lady.
The wife,
First lady.
yeah.
You said what you said, and you meant what you said.
I said what I said, and like, you can't go back on certain things that you say. I mean, you felt like they should have came because of sportsmanship, right? They can have that spot. Like, we'll go to the Obamas. We'll see, I'm gonna see Michelle. I'm gonna see Barack.
Hold on. So did you guys speak to the first lady?
No, apparently she was supposed to come to our locker room before the game, but we said no.
Before the game?
Yeah, she was supposed to come to our locker room and go to Iowa's locker room. I don't know if she talked to them. I don't know if she did, but we said we didn't want to. We didn't want her coming to the locker room. I think Joe Biden had put somebody else to win the national championship. He didn't put us on his bracket to get out of Baton Rouge. So I was like, bet.
Oh, you weren't even on the bracket.
We weren't even out of. No, we didn't even get out of Baton Rouge. I think that he said we were going to lose to Michigan or something.
See what people go.
Does LSU right now? I mean,
I love it.
You talk about the group chat. Do you girls feel like you right now are the most disrespected national champions, like in recent
We're the most
history?
hated. We are most hated.
It's insane.
And you love it.
I
and
love
you love it.
She's in her villain mode.
No, I love it.
I think Jill Biden is an idiot. It's been American
Yes.
tradition for the White House to celebrate national championship teams. Yeah, that's been happening for over 150 years. But her trying to have this participation trophy moment was extremely disrespectful. And
Yes.
people tried to make this political.
And Joe can't do them because Joe Biden his brain is not there.
can't get over her thinking about inviting
And we got 2 more years of this crap.
the losers of the competition. Sensible people can agree that this made absolutely no sense.
Exactly.
The presidency is an institution, and his wife is to be respected as I give the president respect. But she need to sit down. What is this about? Now, because the people that won, the young ladies that won, look like me, and the people that lost look like her, now we're going to invite the runner-up. Never in the history, Skip, do you know, going back, this goes back to 1865. Andrew Johnson welcomed the Brooklyn Atlantics and the Washington Nationals amateur club. But the first professional baseball team to get invited to the White House, Ulysses S. Grant did it in 1869, the Cincinnati Red Stockings.
That's some deep research right there.
Winners. Never in the history, Skip. That's the part of winning a national championship. That's the part about winning the Super Bowl, the World Series, or the NBA title. Guess what, Skip? We get invited to the White House.
Yep.
The losers don't get anything. This is not a participation award, and that's what's watered down sports in America. Little Johnny and little Susie get an award just because they were on the team, although they didn't win anything. All the teams, if you were in the league, you get a trophy. No, winners get a trophy. That's what life is about. You got to win. And she's like, well, give her a break. She doesn't understand. She was in attendance.
She was in attendance.
She saw what was going on in the arena. She knows the backdrop of this story. The #1 trending topic. What was, Skip? It wasn't that LSU won. It was Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
Yep.
And so she's a doctor. If she didn't know, she should have.
She's a doctor of education, not a real doctor.
No, before she opened her mouth and blurted this dumb scenario out because they played hard. Skip, everybody played hard.
Yeah.
But you get rewarded by winning this. In 2016, it's been out for a long time, Skip. They said optics. How do things look? Does Dr. Jill Biden understand how this looks? She, white America?
Yep.
The losing side is white America?
Yep.
And she's like, you know what? Since the black, come on, Dr. Biden, you know better than this. Did you forget who helped put your husband in the White House?
No, she. Hell no, she don't forget, and that's the problem. Shannon, you jackwagon. That's the problem. Y'all, you forgot who put your husband in the house, and that was the problem. I really wish a lot of people, young black people, all that stuff, can y'all go back and really do your history? That's why they don't want to teach history right now in a lot of these high schools, because they don't want to tell the history. Jim Crow laws, Democrats. The people who stopped you from getting your ancestors, your great-grandfather, whatever, from getting their reparations, who were they? Democrats. They want Republicans. The person who fought, the party that fought to free them were Republicans. Lincoln. We forgot who put you in on. No. They don't forget. They know that your dumb black butt put them in office. And they told, what did Biden say to you? Said when Charlie McGain said, you don't vote for me. He said, if you ain't vote for me, you ain't black. That's why I always had a joke that I'm a white man, because I didn't vote for I did not vote for Biden. Heck no. I ain't voted for him last time, and I ain't voting for him this time. I'm gonna tell you right now, I know a lot of people who ain't gonna do it. Y'all crazy if you don't vote for this man again for what he has been doing all this time, but whatever. But let's take the thing out. Let's go back to the girl, because this is what I'm trying to stand on here.
Because they're undeserving.
My sister's murder was headline news.
Really? All right, thank you.
Caitlin, the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, was at the final. On Sunday, she said afterwards the game was so great, she was thinking about inviting both teams to the White House, yourselves and LSU. Would you want to go to the White House as a runner-up?
I don't know. I don't think runner-ups usually go to the White House. I think LSU should, enjoy that moment for them. And congratulations. Obviously, they deserve to go there. Maybe I could go to the White House on different terms, though. But I think that's for LSU. So that's a pretty cool moment, and they should enjoy every single second of being a champion. So I think that's theirs to do. But more than anything, I'm just lucky enough that there were some really cool people in the arena at that championship game Sunday night. There was some really highly sought after people watching and supporting women's basketball, and that's exactly what this game needs. So I appreciate the First Lady being in the house and watching both teams and supporting the greatness of women's basketball.
Again, shout out to these ladies. They made history. Not only was it the first championship for the LSU women's basketball team, but they shattered TV viewership records with an average of 9.9 million viewers. Almost.
Again, young ladies, good job. Good job.
10 million. Significantly more than the previous record held by the 2002 NCAA Women's Tournament game. Over 20 years ago, that pulled in 5.7 million. And we have to be honest, one of the biggest reasons is because of the matchup. The Iowa team who starred Caitlin Clark and the white girls against Louisiana, the black girls. Not only that, but Caitlin can actually play and compete, which made the matchup even more interesting. But Caitlin and her team lost because they went up against a group of competitors that simply performed better than her team. That's the game.
And again, I could even ink out, and I'm being there. I could even ink out if the score was like 1-0. What was the score? Let me. I gotta pull it up. If the score was like 102-101. If they did that, I could be like, okay, I see what you're talking about, Jill. It was an exciting game. But it was a blowout. 102-85. It was a blowout. Come on.
UConn won the men's NCAA championship. Angel Reese and her family, they are also celebrating that win because Jordan Hawkins of UConn is Angel's cousin. They grew up together in Maryland.
Thanks for all the kids from Gainesburg, Maryland, that didn't think they could do it. I did it. Now you can do it, man. I swear to God.
You and Angel Reese did it.
Yes, absolutely. Me and Angel showed paved the way, man. We did it. And we did it.
It's incredible that you both won national championships. Did you hear from her before this game?
Absolutely. I mean, I wish her luck. Man, I'm going to see her in Maryland soon. So, hey, the cookout going to be lit.
You can show off your rings together.
Yes. I'm going to go cut the net now. All right.
2 NCAA champions in the same season from the same family. You know what I mean? That's amazing. I'm happy for their family.
I'm too.
Shout out to the ladies of the LSU basketball team. All of them, the coach, the staff, Baton Rouge, the state of Louisiana. Much love to everybody at LSU. A special thank you to Andrew. I appreciate you, Andrew.
I said enough respect for those ladies for doing that. Enough respect. You guys did a great job. The coach did a great job. Great game. Everybody likes it. Happy it is. And again, the "you can't see me" is nothing major. That was just pumped up so something could get off of you guys. Okay, that's what it was. Again, it was another, what you call it again? It was another, again, something to keep you guys off, shiny, keep your eyes off the prize. That's what that situation was all about. Okay? Shout out to LSU, shout out to UConn for winning the game. Good stuff, and I wish them the best. I wish them the best. Because that is craziness. And I just had to, no. I was not down with that nonsense at all. Okay, I have one more video to go through, so we can call it a night. And again, this explains a lot of things with the craziness of things. Teaching your kids. Again, I do not want a freaking pat on my head because I'm black, okay? My name is, no. I'm Tig first before this. I'm Tig before I'm a man. I'm Tig because that's my personality. That's who I am. That's who he is. I'm not gonna play this game with crazy people, but I want to play this nonsense. You can see how the colleges and stuff like again. And of course, he had to be a black professor that's just spitting out this garbage. Straight up crazy. But let's play this. And you will see we have two lovely black ladies, and we're gonna have and a black man and a black woman. Let's hear what we all gotta say about this.
Conservative author and TV host Danielle D'Souza-Gill and distinguished
Hispanic
professor of education at San Diego State University, Dr. Luke Wood. So welcome to both of you. Now, let me start with you. Is it possible for white people to be discriminated against because
yes,
they are the majority and discrimination involves power?
Absolutely.
No, not really. Not really. You could discriminate without power. You could do that. One. And two, literally, if we, it depends on which sexuality, and even if you are the majority, you could say this discriminate. It's a personal thing. You could be discriminated as a person.
Absolutely. It is unequivocally possible. It happens all the time. This actually happens not only in specific instances, but this happens in a systemic way on our most elite college campuses. And I would also say that this is happening not just in education, but in the workplace.
Yep. Well, is it justified though? Because if there has been
it's not
disparity, and if there has been discrimination, if there have been minorities that have been excluded for years and years and years and years, is this the way to start to bring some balance and diversity back to those universities and workplaces?
Before she answers, I understand that part. The accepting, basically accepted to college and all, and then work or whatever, the opportunities, that should be on a level playing field. I have nothing against that. That part I don't have. But when you start saying that, like I said, there's not many women who like to go for certain jobs. Why force women to do jobs if they don't want to do these jobs? If someone want to do it, let them do that in volition. There are women in a lot of male jobs. There are a lot of women who in the male jobs who are ship workers, mechanics, and all that stuff like that. Me and my wife were just watching a show with this woman. She's a mechanic. She's a champion bike racer. Here's the thing. She did it on her own, and that's her personality, and that's what she is. But we should not force other women to do it if they don't want to do it.
Absolutely not. Affirmative action has been going on for over 50 years, so this has been happening for a long time. And even now, we've actually seen that it's gotten worse in the sense that race relations are so poisonous, and many people on college campuses actually feel like because of all of this that's happening, they feel like they're being pitted against each other.
Correct.
Doctor, what do you think?
Well, I think I would very respectfully disagree. I certainly don't think that white people are disadvantaged in college admissions. In fact, I would say is the exact opposite, which is why there are policies and practices in place now to try to alleviate the historical burden. It's like if you ever played Monopoly before, right? Imagine like you have a person who's playing Monopoly and they get to go around multiple times, right? and then like halfway through the game, someone gets to enter into the game. And then because they get a turn, right, then the accusation is, well, somehow that game is unfair. So
What the fuck? Because somebody gets a turn, it's out. No, what the you crazy, bro?
Kind of accusation, what we would say is reverse racism.
There's no such thing as reverse racism. It's just plain racism. There's no such thing as reverse racism.
Really just view it as what we call race sliding. Race sliding is what happens when gaslighting is racial. And essentially, if you
professors love to come with all these crappy words for every single dang thing, and we pay you for this garbage.
Look, historically, colleges and universities have prioritized admissions for students who are white. Why is that? When you admit a student, it's oftentimes based upon their grades, high school grades, and your test scores, ACT and SAT, which are being phased out due to COVID-19.
Which it shouldn't be phased out. That's how I got my scholarship, my SATs.
But if you think about it, the SAT and ACT have historically measured access to resources, the neighborhood.
No, it has not.
That you grow up in.
No, it has not. When I grew up in a neighborhood that was poor and all that stuff, I came from a place where I didn't have from my little small island, and I got my AC. I did an ACT. I did all right. I didn't get my SAT and got a scholarship.
Not a measure of a student's drive, a student's motivation. Is really a measure.
No, it's their knowledge. That's what it's all supposed to be.
Of their access, and ultimately, we know that when things measure access, they really measure white privilege.
Okay, so I didn't have, you know what? I'll let the ladies talk.
No, what they actually really measure is the type of household that they come from, okay? Because he is right in a certain sense that income, aka resources, definitely correlates with SAT scores. But
more majority of it, like I said, I didn't have that and I did well. But again,
a lot of that does come from family structure, okay? You're coming from a two-parent household, right? How much?
I was not from a two-parent household. I was from a single household, and there are a lot of good kids. I've documented it on this channel, on this show, that there's a lot of kids out there who come from single houses, and that have done very good. I got some great scholarships as well. Is it the majority? No, and I bet to that too. But it's also the parents doing their daggone jobs.
Parents value education. How much time are they spending reading to kids at a young age? Okay. Again, a lot of that stuff is really just foundational in regards to the household, what the parents are doing in the household to help the child learn. Okay? That's not white privilege, right?
No.
That's just something that we should be promoting in society. That's how you would fix it, is more traditional family values and nuclear family structure. But again, these people don't really believe in that, right? They don't believe in that.
You know, that is interesting, though, because I feel like this is, again, it just always seems like we're handling black people with kids' gloves.
With a Fabergé eggs, as you would say, Fabergé eggs.
Where, the poor little black person is not getting a hand up and they're kind of getting pushed to the side. So let's just insert them, maybe even though they may not have the full education that they need to get into certain colleges. Like he's saying, like it's white privilege is what he's trying to say. But I do think it's more of just a family structure.
But then it is funny because when black kids who are younger go to school and do what they're told, they're bullied and called white.
Right.
And it makes them not want to do a good job. They'd rather act like thug culture or what we call black culture. How sassy black women, thuggish black men. You know what I mean? So as soon as you start making good grades, you get treated a certain type of way. But what Greg is trying to say is that our family structure is really the reason why a lot of black kids go to school and aren't prepared. Because Candace Owens actually did say on her podcast one day that she was saying she was talking to Russell Brand at his house, and she was saying that because actually Asian kids are focused mainly their culture is focused mainly on academics. That she said she actually had a friend that was Asian, and when she would go home to her friend's house or whatever, her parents were like, "Did you get your homework done? You have to get an A." That wasn't the same at my house. My house was not that big. It's not that they didn't discourage me, they just didn't encourage me. They didn't care. You know what I mean? They just let me do what I was going to do, but that's not the truth in a lot of households. A lot of households demand that you make good grades because they want to see you go to a school. Unfortunately, in Black communities, because of the 74% single mother rate, women can't do everything by themselves, although they try to act like they can sometimes. They can't do everything by themselves, so it makes a child. You can't really watch your kids if you have to then go to work, come home, cook, clean, be the husband and the wife. You know what I mean? That's not so in intact nuclear families like Asian and most white families. They have a mother and a father, which means kids can't really get away with too much.
Yeah, and it's also interesting like when you bring up single mother rate too and all that. It's interesting how I don't think people understand the how broad it is and how big of a problem that actually is in every area of a Black person's life. You know, or a single parent's life to their children. Like it does kind of affect almost even their academic life.
I mean, you said that about us.
You know?
My mother was a great mom, but we didn't get encouraged or discouraged.
Yeah,
and a lot of it was probably because she was alone.
And
she put food on the table and she had to make money. But it's not that she didn't care about a report card. She absolutely did. Yeah. But there wasn't a big like push.
Now that's the opposite in my family. My mom did not play that. Even though exactly what they just said is what my mom was. And again, my dad was there to help out there and there. But to be honest, it was a single family there. My mom didn't play that. And that's why she's proud of me and my sister, both graduating from college, doing what we're doing. Both of us graduated from college and doing a job we went to college to do. She's a graphic designer. That's what she went to school for. She graduated with high honors from Art Institute, and I graduated from NC State. And I'm doing my job for architecture and design.
Like higher education,
you know what I mean?
And I just don't buy into his argument that just because you're white, by definition, that means that you have more of an advantage no matter where you come from.
There are more poor white people than Black people. By the numbers.
I tend to believe that a Black person who comes from a well-off family is going to have more of an advantage than a white person from a poverty-stricken family or area.
Yes, I believe in that too. But again, it's all on the person itself.
Standards, if we do that, because we haven't fixed the problem down the line.
That's correct. It is the policies are harmful also to the people that they purport to help. And we have all of the evidence there to look at. When you artificially place a Black American into a school in which they do not belong based on their knowledge, doesn't mean that they go on to get A's. In fact, there was a Black adjunct professor, you guys have definitely heard of him, Dr. Thomas Sowell, who was teaching at Cornell University, and he found that the majority of the Black American students that were there were on academic probation. Now, these students were some of the smartest in the nation, but because they were artificially placed amongst their peers at Cornell University, they were failing on academic probation. These policies have never helped Black Americans. It's just basically policies that are put in place to make people feel good, right? I feel like I'm doing something when in fact I'm actually creating harm. You either know the answers or you don't.
When you say...
Yeah, so just to kind of back up what Candace is saying here, this is a big debate at UNC when I was there about the Black male graduation rate, okay, which was substantially lower, significantly lower than that of the general population, okay? And there was a debate about it, like, is UNC doing enough to support Black male students? And I'm thinking to myself, well, what can a university do more to support Black male students to make them get better grades, right? Is the university supposed to study for them? Is it supposed to make them go to class, right? Is it supposed to make them do the things that, you know, all students are supposed to do in order to get good grades? Again, being a Black male student at the university, I graduated in 4 years, right? So I graduated on time.
Me too.
I think that personally for me, my skin color had nothing to do with my grades, more so than the effort that I was putting in. Okay, I put in very little effort and still got a 3.0. And you know, at the time, you know, I didn't like it, and I didn't decide to do something about it until like my junior year, where I was like, you know what, I'm actually gonna put in effort. And when I actually put in effort, lo and behold, you know, I was able to actually, you know, consistently get over a 3.5, right, in a semester. Okay. It had nothing to do, again, with my skin color holding me back or anything like that. What was holding me back is just simply my drive and my effort in what I was putting into it.
And I'll add on to what he did. Like I said, I got a scholarship. I got happy for it. And you know what the thing is? It wasn't a full ride scholarship. No, it was not. I also had I forget what you call it, Pell Grant, because again, my mom was not in a was in a situation, of course, so I got the Pell Grant. So I came to America, and I did. And I'll say this: the first couple of years of my college years was really good because I academically did great because I did a test to place myself, the placement test, and I skipped out of 3 classes because the placement test was awkward, and I'll be honest with you, it was awkward that year. And then when I remember when I went into the math class, that the professor was like, "Why the heck are you here?" He's like, "Well, I'm like, you're passing these high grades. Why are you should not be here. You should not be here at all." The reading class, the lady was like, when I was in the reading class, whatever, the lady was like, "Yeah, your comprehension is way beyond this. You need to, whatever." The English class, they skipped me out. They wrote a letter saying, "You should not be in this class." Because of where I was. Back in high school, I still have that report card. I got 101 in English class. 101. And I didn't put that much effort in that class, like he just said. I got 101. People thought I cheated. I'm like, I ain't cheating nothing. I got 100. Like, how you get 101? What the heck? Because I remember what the whole story I could explain to you and all, but I don't want to keep on the time. That's for another day. But again, yes, put the effort, work hard, make sure you can do the right things. Yes, I did that. But the thing about it is, again, I came up here, and again, I got a Pell Grant. I had to take out a little bit of loan because I was out of state. I paid that loan back off. I used my scholarship. And you know what? The year after that, did I stop at that? No, I went and got more scholarship. I got more scholarship. I got that, I think it was Atkins scholarship. It was a company that does designs and stuff like that. I got that. I got another scholarship because, yeah, I wanted to not pay a lot of things. And I graduated out of college without no student debt. Thank the Lord. No student debt. But that's the point, because I had to work hard to get there. And I'll be honest with you, the later years before I graduate, yeah, I was a little sloppy, and yeah, I was just like, because I remember back in the day when we were going to school, high school, like, you want to be first in your class and all that stuff, and I'm like, what does that do? Don't do nothing. As long as I got a degree that says, hey, because the degree don't say your GPA and whatever. Now I graduated 3.5 GPA, but the GPA don't really say it. It says, like, I don't care. It says my name. It says the school name. It says you're a graduate. That's all I care. NC State, there it is. Boom, gone. That's all.
But again, they framed this problem as it's some type of systemic issue where it's the university's fault. No, it's society's fault that black men are failing.
No.
They're partly right in the sense that when you let these people into a university when they're not ready, I don't think it helps.
We have.
Okay, can I just?
Yeah, I'm glad I'm pausing anyways. Yeah, go ahead.
So I can.
And before they go into that, I want to pause because it's going to come up here too. Candace Owens, again, I don't agree with her 100%. And I do wish sometimes, I know when she's trying to prove a point and trying to keep somebody in the pot, and you're going to see it. Don't let the person talk. Let the person talk. Let her get a point out. You got your point out. Okay, let me answer your question here. I don't like people try to overtalk other people that much sometimes too. It doesn't annoy me.
Definitely, I can definitely, contest to what Greg is saying, because when I didn't go to college. I didn't want to go to college. Mm-hmm. But when I was in high school, my freshman year, mm-hmm. I had Fs. Mm-hmm. I was a horrible student. You know what I mean? I went there, I played around, I was a good student. And I remember being called into my counselor's office with other people that he was counseling. We were all failing. And it was like me and all these guys.
It was like
guys.
you.
It was like this, me, the girl.
I'm curious to know what was the ethnicity of the guys.
All black. And so we were all black, you know what I mean? And I remember Mr. Lehman, he was our and he said to us that if we do not at this point do better, then we won't graduate because you won't get the credits. So it was interesting to me that that was a kick in the pants for me. Mm-hmm. Because Greg's right. Yeah. Once someone told me. Yeah. And by the way, it was, my mother, who was doing her best, but it took a man to kind of,
Yeah,
like
to
a father
say-
figure
yeah.
in a
So
sense.
that should show you.
Should have said some fathers matter, but he wasn't my father. He's a white man.
A man
And
saying
a
it
man saying
felt
it and
differently
mean it
to you.
because they
Yeah.
don't work in your feelings. They give you facts.
They give you not.
And
yeah,
so
their
for some
logic
reason that bothered me. But I will say I went from an F student to when I graduated, I had way more credits than I was supposed to, and I was almost a B.
Yeah.
A B student. But let me tell you, Mr. Lehman called me in my senior year, and he said, "You know that out of everybody in that group, that 13 men, you're the only one that's going to graduate."
Wow.
They all didn't graduate. He said, "I'm calling you here because I thought, like, you know, you have to have this like end of the you're about to move on to college and do your life." And my senior year, he called me into his office and he was just like, he's like, "So, you know, I'm really proud of you. Like you," he's like, "You just took that and ran with it." I did summer school. Like I caught up really fast because I went to summer school every year because I didn't want my senior year to be unfun.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and caught up. But he said, "But I want to let you know this." He's just like that. I am proud of you because out of the 13 people that were you were the only girl.
Yeah.
He was like, "But out of 13 people that were in this group that I told you," he said, "You know that you're the only one that's going to graduate."
But you know, I would say though, when it's a sense of urgency situation, I would say that your personality, like when something needs to get done and it's told that it has to get done, when we get into deadline situations, I feel like you execute.
Yeah.
Like you're in execution mode, right?
Say the other guys they didn't graduate, but I think it's because maybe in their personal homes, you know, like they weren't gonna go home to shame anybody. Like I didn't want to shame my mom.
And you know what's funny about this? I'm gonna let the sisters talk still, and I'm talking about sisters. They are actual sisters, but they talk a little bit more because we got a little bit more to go. But I do want to point this out because me and my wife were seeing a show. I forgot the name of the show. She knows it. It's the one where the guy who plays Everybody Hates Chris, who's grown up and he's a teacher at this school. It's like a teacher documentary, comedy skit. You know, not comedy skit, of course, the comedy show, sitcom. Sorry, and there was a teacher. This teacher had the black teacher who wanted to do good for this other black teacher, and of course his name was the black student, and the student name was Deshaun, of course, and he was being rude, tossing books, doing his damage inside of the class, and of course the woman, being a single mom, had to do a lot of work, so she had a parent-teacher meeting, and she was trying to get with the mom to understand what's going on, whatever, and the mom came with a bunch of attitude, not knowing what her son is doing, and it's like she's just saying here with as you know, they're talking about. Danielle's talking about that, like yeah, that's what it is.
Right. And I always had that feeling like I never wanted to be a single mother because I didn't want my mother to work as hard as she did. My mother had, you know, but also didn't want to shame her for not graduating. I didn't want to be, you know what I mean, like things like that. So I think like that it is true that it doesn't always have to do with your race. Sometimes it does have to do with because even I think white kids, if they come from a single parent home, it's the same thing.
That's what he said.
Yeah, because even in the prisons, white men that are in prisons, that are in the prison system, come from single parent homes too.
Yeah, poverty really kind of sometimes determines where a child's going to be, especially at school. I just want to add real quick though, when it comes to you know, college in general, sometimes a lot of people are pushed to go to college, and it's like, I don't know if you guys agree with this or not, but I think like a lot, when he was saying a lot of people fail, a lot of these men are, you know, young men are failing in college, you know, they're not graduating and stuff. Sometimes college isn't for everybody, and like vocational schools or like trade schools are a better fit for some of these people. Because I actually know people that went to college, did their 4 years and everything like that, you know, men, and they're like, no, I really didn't even want to do that. What they end up doing is doing like a trade school, and now a lot of them are mechanics on their own. You know,
and I am 1,000. I mean 1,000%, kids. If you feel you want to do that, you don't have to go to college. If you're gonna go to college for being a doctor, respect to y'all. Get jobs and get courses that has real production in life. All this studies, gender studies, all this race studies, all this other crap, kick that crap to the side because it's bull crap. Because that stuff ain't gonna help you. There's a lot of people out there who have all these degrees and master degrees and ain't getting paid money. I did the video about the colleges. You can go back to see the episode. I think I forgot what the episode was. What I did, it was back to back, where the young lady who had because her mom had a lot of debt and she was a single mom and she gave it to her daughter, and come to find out she's not doing the job that she went to school for, and it was making like what only $40,000, and she had a master's degree in the nonsense. Are you kidding me?
Holy Jesus.
$40,000, and you paid $120,000 to get $40,000 job. Crazy.
We call garages, you know, a lot of them are doing other things that don't require that type of college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes.
And I show people out there who make welders and welders and stuff, they can make $120,000, $140,000.
People are being pushed to go to, you know, they're getting inserted in with this whole affirmative action thing. And sometimes you didn't even have to do that because some people just don't, college is not for them.
College is not for everyone. I mean?
They can do well financially with something they actually do have a different passion for.
Exactly.
But with the guy, the doctor here, Dr. Luke, the thing that I don't understand about this is that he's a black man, so he knows the statistics.
Yeah.
So they never want to talk about family structure. They only want to talk about affirmative action.
Yep.
And the thing is like,
that's what
I am promotion of family
true.
structure because I think men need to be in the homes. Men have a different authority over their kids than mothers do. And like I said, I think it was the male counselor that actually made me like intimidated to the point where I was just like, okay, you know what I mean? That I don't think maybe a female might have been able to do for me.
Black students at a particular school who aren't performing at that school as well, the immediate assumption that you're making is, well, maybe it's because they're not smart enough, they're not good enough.
No, they did not say that. She did not say that. But again, I will let it go. This is my show. I'm letting it go. But this is the only part about Candace I don't like. She jumps in, whatever. But I'll be like, okay, where did I say that? I did not say that.
They don't belong here. Whereas it could be about the experience that they're having at that institution. Professors who believe that they're not intelligent enough, that they don't have the capability to do the work, that they see them as criminals, deviants, dangerous, up to no good.
What? Maybe you put up your pants, don't look like a thug, come to school, look appropriate. Maybe they won't do that. And if they think about that, here's one of my sayings I always say: prove them wrong. You prove them wrong. Look at me, you think, oh, I'm a stupid person out there, whatever. I don't care. I prove you wrong. Because that's the best way to shut somebody up.
Man, so it's the professor's fault. Which, I mean, some of these professors are woke, but again, I mean, that's the funny part about this. Most of academia is woke, but he's trying to say that these professors see them as criminals and yada, 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 yada.
Exactly.
But they're all woke, right? So if anything, they're probably given more leniency because they're black. And some of these students are still failing anyways, right?
Yep.
So that was my point. Like when I was saying, what Greg is saying right now, is that I do think that the over affirmation of black people also creates, because when my white guidance counselor said to me, this is it, this is what it is. And if, you know, he said it in an authoritative way. And he wasn't just affirming us because we were all black kids or something. That was back when you could be a real teacher and teachers weren't afraid to tell the truth. You know what I mean? Right. And so I think when you tell the truth, and when you lay the law down, and you know, you get the choice. You can either do bad or do good, or wake up or go to sleep, whichever one it is. And so putting blame on everybody but the actual student makes the student scapegoat and be able to just ruin themselves because they can place blame on something else.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then because these colleges now and high schools and stuff, because they're handling black people, minorities, with kids' gloves, it's very delicate. We call it Fabergé eggs. That when Jericho Green comes Fabergé eggs. Yeah, they're handling us like racist. Right, where they're handling us like a Fabergé egg.
I think that a lot of black kids don't have a great foundation.
Well, they spend a lot of time trying to fill voids. See, the thing is, your mind gets distracted when you don't have that kind of upbringing. When you have that, you know, kind of like sketchy upbringing, but kind of holes in your upbringing. You go through kind of life, especially your youth, trying to fill voids. Either some people get caught up with gangs. It's just how they fill voids. You know, girls get caught up with boys and get promiscuous. You know, so these things happen. That is the important part of the nuclear family. The family structure is so important, and I don't like, honestly, this Luke Woods. I don't like that he is trying to put kind of the blame on the professors and not putting the accountability on the actual student.
That is what the reality is. And it hurts them to be at an institution that they just shouldn't be at. That is what's actually hurting them, letting them into the university when they shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Or they talk about them with the they statements. They're lazy. They don't care. They don't really belong here. They're only here for the financial aid.
I'm giving you actual facts.
No,
right?
I'm giving you actual facts based upon extensive
you can say, well, maybe they
research
just
that's
don't
been
feel
done.
good. But that's not the case. I mean, I went to university. I did not feel good, right? I didn't pull the best grades in high school, probably got into a better university than I should have gotten into based on my performance in high school. It wasn't because of my feelings. It's because I wasn't focused on it. And that, we're talking about a cultural problem, what's going on back at home, as was in my circumstance. And none of that is because of institutionalized policy. It almost seems like you guys refuse to accept that, you know, black students aren't performing well. You feel like you have to have this burden of responsibility when, in fact, if you actually wanted to help, you would look at the facts, re-examine the fact that it's not helping anybody. It's not helping black Americans to artificially place them into universities and make effective change.
But you're making the assumption that black students are academically inferior, and they're not.
No,
They're
you
some of
are
our most
actually.
brilliant students
that's
that we
the
have.
basic. No. That you are making the assumption that they are inferior.
You
It
just
is
said
why
that they
you
don't
want
belong there.
policies. I'm talking about the students that are based on the policies that you are defending right now, saying that we should have these policies that let them into these universities, not based on their skill set, but based on the color of their skin. So you are assuming that they are inferior.
Comedian Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, again, she's right. I mean, you know, when you say, hey, look, we don't need to go off grades, right? We don't need to go off SAT. We don't need to go off, you know, test scores, any objective measure.
And I've showed videos on this channel, channel, and also in this show, where remember they let you in Chicago, where they letting you pass with a 20, an F. You could graduate with a 20. What the hell is that?
Of academic performance. You're assuming that these kids are not as smart, right? They're just not as capable. They can't do as well on these tests. Therefore, you have to lower your standards, which, in my opinion, again, is bigotry. There are black kids that can perform, and that are smart enough to perform just as well as everybody else. Those are the students you should be letting in, right? But the students that can't, no, you shouldn't let them in. You're not helping them by letting them into a university they don't belong to, and then they end up dropping out when you could have gave that spot to somebody who is actually worthy of being there. And who was going to perform well. Again, that's the problem here.
Tyler Fisher claims he has been turned down by 3 agencies because they said they just weren't looking for white men to book at this time. Tyler, thanks for being here.
Thank you. I do identify as a Latino female now, so.
We don't need a smart asterisk, dude. We don't. Just don't.
Just adjust my pronouns. Yeah. So I've been in the entertainment business for 17 years.
Okay, he's in the entertainment business, so that's where the cockiness come from. Okay.
And I think what we're not talking about is children right now. Thank God I had about 5 years where this was not happening, where race was not pounded over your head. This is destroying people's lives. Yeah. You know, the manager that told me, I can't work with you because you're white, he was a pawn, you know? And so it's so sad because I feel so bad for kids who won't have that chance. They're going to go, oh, I'm told I'm white, so I'm not going to go for it. You know, what would you say to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old, no matter what their race is? Should you, like, what would you actually tell them? You know, should you give your job up? And let me ask you directly, do you think it was justified for me to be told, we can't represent you, you don't have the chance to now compete for jobs because you're white? Yes or no? Was that okay or was that not okay?
Okay, you know the answer ain't gonna be no damn yes or no. They're not. I ain't gonna be. You know it. You know it's not. Is that Amala? I think that's Amala. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think that what is described by you.
Don't give me your little.
Like I said, he's gonna be that. I don't want to show argument because it's gonna be just crazy.
The MCAT, right? They're trying to get rid of MCAT because apparently black students aren't smart enough to score high on the MCAT to compete with everybody else.
Yep.
Again, this is the type of stuff, man. Again, it's hard bigotry. And this type of discrimination is unacceptable. Again, these people are not liberal anymore, right? They are just radical progressives.
Yep.
Okay, and these radical progressives believe in full-blown discrimination. Okay?
And that's why I said crazy. That's why I call them leftists. I don't call, like I said, if you're liberal, okay. If you're, most Democrats majority of Democrats are sane people. They just got banned with everything. Just the same thing with most Republicans are same people, but they get knocked over with the right, crazy right as well too. That's why I can't be with both parties. But anyway, but I said leftists for a reason. You're far off the hinge. This is right, left. They have one as that. That's a right-wing nut job. And left is crazy cuckoos.
Jim Crow discrimination.
Yep.
And they're totally fine with it.
Yep.
And it's just, in my mind, it's sad that this is where we're at in a society where you have people that are having this experience where they're just explicitly being told that, hey, you can't get this job because you're white. Again,
so this man is in the entertainment industry, and so the entertainment industry is a lot more upfront with saying stuff like that. Mm-hmm. We can't hire you because you're white. We can't hire you because you're black. You're too fat. You whatever. Mm-hmm. They kind of get away with that. But he is right. Like, how far is it going to go?
Dylan Mulvaney, everybody knows the trans star on TikTok.
Yeah.
That crazy person. And I'll say this too. Shout out to my boy Triple again. We were working to get my boy back up in this situation in this and everything. He says, I like what he says. His quote. Give me a second. Let me. Yeah, I'm getting. Cause sorry, Triple. Just because again, I don't have YouTube up as much as the other stuff I have in there. But he says, how can I show my IQ if you don't test me? Great. That is a great thing to say because it is that. It's just that. How can I tell you what I have if you don't test me? That's the part that's the part I feel about the kids.
Wow, what a waste. The poor children.
Exactly. Exactly. To be against discrimination is to do discrimination. Make that make sense. Again, another good one from my fellow partner Trip. And again, I paused it on it. That is a man who walks around with a tampon, who does not have none of the sex change, and even if he had a sex change, he will never use a tampon. He wants to be that. That's not my problem. I don't wish no ill will or no hurt this man. I wish him success, but he's doing very well, and that's good. But when you say, hey, men are horrible creatures, and a man becomes a woman, and you give the man who became a woman more power, more attention, more advantages over a biological woman, we are straight up into cuckoo land right now. Okay? That's where we are, straight off into cuckoo land. Exactly.
He just got a what do you call it when they get a
sponsor?
Sponsor. Yeah. Well, actually, he didn't even ask for it. Bud Light sent him beer for March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't even watch sports. He didn't even know what March Madness was, and he said it in his video.
What the fuck?
He's, I didn't know what March Madness even was, but they sent me beer, and they sent him a beer with his face, and it says celebrating 365 days of girlhood, and it has Dylan's face on there, and so they don't even know who their audience is.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And they did this just like what these people are saying is that they're virtue signaling. Mm-hmm. They will replace anybody because they don't want to be called bigots.
Right.
But they don't realize that you sound dumb. You're giving a contract to a guy who doesn't even drink the beer. Secondly, doesn't watch sports. And you're just virtue signaling to be doing it. So the same thing here. You only want black people in your school, not because they're good, because you don't want anyone to call your school bigoted.
Yeah.
And that doesn't help black people. It doesn't help the school. You know what I mean? It doesn't help people who actually go to school and work hard, including black people.
Right.
Would be towards somebody telling somebody you can't get this job because you're black. Those two things deserve equal amount of anger, okay, and pushback, because that is not what the point was when we decided that, hey, we're going to give equal rights to everybody. The point was not to get to a point where we're like, nah, we need to discriminate against whites. Right? That's not what the goal was. So
I'm just someone who I don't really like feel sorry for me movements.
Yeah.
I never really have. I think it's weird when, you know, if you don't have, like, I think you have to have a faith in your life.
Yeah.
You know, a God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not the state.
Right.
Amen.
Because the government isn't going to do anything to really help you. They make more, as you can see, they make more problems than they do.
Yeah.
Than they actually do fixing things.
Right.
More government always creates more problems. Less government makes you have to deal with yourself. It gives you the opportunity to have agency over yourself, and you can, you know, have faith in your God.
Yeah.
Don't be waiting for these people to give you opportunities and then you use your emotion and your color and your sex and your gender and all that to get your way.
Right.
Yep.
Because that's not real success if you can do that.
That is true. That is definitely true. And
I'm a lot younger than him by the time he's my age. I don't care about them ugly ass kids in your race. Shut up. 89? Plastic ass body. 86? Little debilitated, innervated, emasculated, feeble, incapacitated, indisposed, emaciated, attenuated, tenuous body. I don't care about you. Shut up, you white monkey.
Jeez. Evil people.
You a dog in this country. You're a dog. You're nothing over here. You are a dog.
Why would you do that to people who didn't do nothing to you? This is what exactly that's what I'm saying. This guy is what we call.
Oh, shut up! I'm Black American. I'm over it.
It's not racism, right? Now let's just say, let's football that. It's a white person talking to a black person.
Exactly.
What are we calling that?
Exactly. Dude, you are a...
You piece of loser.
That's what you are. And that's what it is because for you to do that. So, again, I think we got to the point now you do that. And you should not do that to nobody if they did not do nothing to you, okay? Point taken in that regard. But anyway, I want to thank you again, guys, up here for joining me for tonight's show. Again, we had let me just check the old saying, of course, because this was crazy. We had 27,980 people in the building. Thank y'all for your lovely. Yeah, I mean, there's so many comments in here, but I'm not doing it this time because I started late and I need to go get some sleep because I gotta go to see the old doctor tomorrow. So I gotta be good and done it. So with that said, look, I don't know what Alvin Gregg did, but he made Trump more popular instead of doing it. It's just so stupid. All right, this sickness is going down, and I'm gonna have a video where I'll just talk to people and just have stuff because without no clips, whatever, about humanity. Because again, I just don't understand why we just can't live normal lives. There are people who want special preferences. I like it because it's like people like, we want to be regular people, we want to be a part of society, we want to be but they want special treatment. I don't like that, and I'm against that. You want to marry, you want to have a relationship with a man, and you're a man, go right ahead. You want to be a woman, go ahead. You want to change into a man like the lady is, a man into a woman, and you living your life without that thing, I have no problem. Do I think you should go and talk to schools and tell children to do that? No. I don't think you should also have little boys stripping in front of grown-ass men. As I said before, that's a no-no as well too. Okay? This is a Sodom Gomorrah, and remember, the reason God wiped out Sodom and Gomorrah off the planet is because they turned sin into law, and we don't need that. And they're trying that right now. Canada's doing it. Europe is doing that. In America, we're falling the nation right now with what's going on. So I apologize. I'm sorry in that regard. I will stick to what I stick to. Because, yeah, y'all ain't gonna get me to just, not happening, Captain. And I will give that. I want to shout out again to Trip again, because again, you know, we got so many good things that we create more problems. That is so true, and he's correct about that. So, and again, I want to be there because he's a contributor to the show. So with that said, again, remember, okay, evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creed, height, religion, nationality, location, sex, gender, everything. Evil's evil. I don't care what it is. If you just do evil things, it's just evil thing. There's no society, there's no culture, there's no person, group of people in any faction that doesn't have evil in it. They have good people and they have bad people. Point blank, period. Okay, they're good Christians, bad Christians, good Muslims, bad Muslims. They are that. Okay? So they're good black people, good white people, bad white people. Just that. Just be a good person in itself. That's why I be individual. You gotta be that. So thank y'all for giving me your time again. Remember, check out Straight No Chasers Daily Monday to Wednesday on YouTube, Project Open Mic. It happens every day than that. Also on Temper FM. Also, remember, you go check out Temper FM and all the other stations. If you got a subscription download, there's a link to all the other shows. You can listen to the show. And remember, people are stupid, individuals smart. Be that smart individual. Have a good night. God bless. And I'll catch y'all next time right here. Thursday, I'm Project Open Mic. And oh yeah, if you like church services and everything, I put up the church service that I go to on Sundays. You can go check it out. Sunday at 9 a.m. Check out the church service that we put there. That again, have a good night. Peace out. Take care of you. Take care of your family. Take care of your neighbor. Take care of your community. That's what we need to do. All right? Peace out. Have a good night.